South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator, that was rich. Your reaction to John Brennan right there.
Very rich. Okay, I remember very well when Mueller was working with Rosenstein. He had to report back to the Department of Justice to look at all things Trump. So this non-investigation, Mr. Brennan, is around whether or not the FISA court was lied to by the Department of Justice and the FBI. Was the dossier credible enough to get a warrant against an American citizen? Is it been verified to this day? Was the counterintelligence investigation opened up against the Trump campaign legitimate, or was it a way to get around the law to get into the Trump world? Now, Horowitz, the Inspector General, has been looking at this for months. He will report back to me. I'm not going to do anything until he comes before the committee. He will tell us his view of the FISA warrant application, whether it was off the rails, the counterintelligence investigation, whether it was on up and up. And what is Barr doing? Barr is being an attorney general trying to find out how the investigation against the Trump campaign began. That is his job. He's doing exactly what he should be doing. Horowitz is looking inside the system to see if it got off the rails. And my job is to make sure it never happens again.
Well, I understand, but we're going to be speaking coming up with George Papadopoulos in a few minutes. And I want to show you, we've got this timeline that we're going to show on screen later, but I will show a little of it to you. This is the entrapment timeline. And all these international, quote unquote, diplomats who reached out to George Papadopoulos, people like someone from Rome, and somebody else from Australia, somebody else from Ukraine. And so all of these internationals that have reached out to Papadopoulos in 1 year's time frame, from 2016 to 2017, which is why your question a moment ago was quite apropos. Why is it always the intel agencies that are coming after Trump? And is that something that the CIA would put together, gathering all of these international diplomats to reach out to Trump campaign people, which was the case in 2016?
Well, stay tuned. That's what Horowitz is going to tell us about, and I will build on what he tells us. The dossier, if you believe that foreign interference is wrong in our elections, then you should be upset by the fact that the Democratic National Committee hired a former British spy to investigate Trump by getting dirt on him from Russia. The Steele dossier is a bunch of political garbage, unverified to this day. Why was it included in the intel assessment? Did Brennan have anything to do with that? Because it is salacious garbage. So we're going to find out about all of this, and Barr should be going to Italy and the UK and Australia, trying to find out if their intelligence services were working with the CIA or the FBI to investigate the Trump campaign. I'm glad he's doing that. He should be doing that.
So no wonder the president brings this up to the leaders of these countries to try to find out, you know, how this information started, given that it was the first 2.5 years of his presidency that people were up in arms over collusion. Very quickly, sir, my viewers are frustrated. They want some subpoenas. They want to see you do that deep dive into what took place. When can we expect your subpoenaing people, and who are you going to get to come down and testify?
Well, I'm going to tell your viewers, I'm going to do it the way I think I need to do it. I'm not going to get ahead of Horowitz. This man is independent of politics. He was appointed by Obama. He did a good job in the past. I'm going to look at his report, then I'll build out on it. I'm not out to get anybody. I'm trying to find out what happened. So I'm not going to issue subpoenas because people are frustrated. I'm going to call Horowitz before the committee. He's going to tell us about the FISA warrant application and the counterintelligence investigation, and I'll go wherever the facts take us. But I do want every Republican to be asked, would you impeach the president based on this transcript, this phone call between the president of the United States and the Ukrainian president? Because if you would, I think that is just incredibly bad judgment. I want Romney to be asked that. As to having China look into this, I think that's a bad idea. I don't trust anything coming out of China against Biden, Trump, me, or you. So the bottom line is I want people to do this the right way. The right way is for Horowitz to come forward to my committee under oath and tell us what happened. And I promise you, I'll build out on it appropriately. Somebody needs to look at whether or not the DNC was involved with the Ukraine. Somebody needs to look at the Bidens, whether or not they violated the law. They sure as hell looked at the Trumps.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to look at the Bidens. I want this to be done outside of politics, and I want Nancy Pelosi to have the courage to vote on impeachment, not just talk about it.
All right, we'll be watching the development, Senator. It's good to see you, sir. Thanks so much.
Good.
Senator Lindsey Graham.
You.